YouTube. Hey, let's talk about is it time to quit your job? You know what I'm saying? In this video we're gonna break down, let you know when's the right time to quit your job. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? So let me turn on this. So first of all, the number one reason you should look into quitting your job is you got to go with your gut. You know what I'm saying? If your gut is telling you that it's time for you to move on, you need to move on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people nowadays in the work field, they get too complacent or too comfortable. I can't really say that word. They get too comfortable. They don't even look to see what's out there. You know what I mean? So you got to see what's out there. You know what I mean? And another good reason to start looking for another job, you gotta ask yourself, are you happy? You know what I'm saying? Happiness is the key. You know what I mean? Like so much people, they base money off of everything, but you're there making all this damn money and you're giving up your happiness. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're an unhappy person with money. So you gotta find that balance. You gotta find that balance. You know what I mean? You gotta find that balance of life. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, before you guys just go ahead and quit your job, you want to make sure you got something lined up first. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you got something lined up. You know, like I know a lot of people that I know personally, they make a lot of money, right? And what they're doing, they're cutting down on some bills and they're willing to take that lesser paid job, because it's just a lot of people going through stress and they can't go through that anymore. So if you're with a job that stresses you out, maybe it's time for you to look into moving on. You know what I mean? If you got like a manager and you work with some bosses that just like, you just can't seem to get along with them, and no matter what you do and you talk to upper level management and nothing's getting done, maybe it's time for you to move on. You know what I mean? Because trust me, I deal with them right now. You got some managers, they're just difficult to work with. They're not understanding. They don't listen. You know what I mean? Like everything is always about me, me, me. It's never about what's really going on. You know what I mean? So you got to look at that. Another reason could be you want more time for yourself. You know what I mean? Like if you find yourself, I'm just looking at the my little buddy came to see me. See him right there. But anyways, if you're looking at if you got a job, remember it's 24 hours in the day, right? If you got a job that takes up more than half your day, I'm talking about you're working over 12 hours a day, like me per se, maybe it's time for you to move on, because like you're spending most of your life working. If you got a job that you got to work 6 days a week, maybe it's time for you to move on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm surrounded every day by people that's making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. That's what we make in the field that I work. You know what I'm saying? And I can't truly find nobody that's happy. You know what I mean? Everybody's miserable. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not happy with the job, not happy with the direction of what the company is going in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about my company per se. I'm just talking about the type of field that I work in. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, most people is unhappy. I yet to find somebody that's truly, truly happy. But yet still, you go to Chick-fil-A. I'm not telling you guys to go work for Chick-fil-A now. I'm just using Chick-fil-A as an example. You walk in Chick-fil-A and everybody is happy as a daylight. The happiest people I've ever seen in my life. I always use Chick-fil-A as an example. These people are like outrageously happy. You know what I mean? Like, you compare them, the money they're making, compared to the money like Some people that went to college for years making what, about 50, 60,000. That's what the average person makes. I don't know. And then like compare like me and my fellow coworkers and fellow drivers in the field that we work in making $80,000, $90,000 a year, but yet still they're so happier than us. And sometimes you gotta try to figure out why. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to find that balance in life. You know what I mean? Because more money brings on more problems, and more problems are gonna bring on more stress. You know what I'm saying? And more stress gonna shorten the length of your life, believe it or not. You know what I mean? So my thing this year, I'm gonna delete more money. More money also bring more things. You tend to get more money, so you think you need to buy more things. You know what I'm saying? You think you need that fancy car. You know what I'm saying? You make $89,000 a year. You think you need that high price BMW. You think you need that high price BMW. You think you need a fucking Range. You know what I'm saying? You just maximize out your lifestyle. You know what I mean? You got to cut back on your bills. You know what I mean? I know this is I know I'm getting off subject, but it all got to do with the job that you work at. You know what I mean? A lot of people steady chasing the money, knowing damn well you ain't happy. And I'm not talking down to nobody, because I might be one of those persons that's not totally happy with my job. The happiest I ever been with a job was I was working with I think when I was working with Frito-Lay, because I loved what I did. I got along good with people. I got along good with my customers, and I was making good money, and I wasn't working too much hours, so I wasn't sacrificing nothing. You know what I'm saying? The key thing in life, you gotta love what you're doing. If you're in a job right now and you don't truly love it, but you feel like you're forced to stay there, like, it's time for you to start looking. If you went to college and your degree per se put you into a career, but you really find out that that's not the career that you want to be in, it's nothing wrong to make a change. Don't sacrifice your happiness. Maybe it's time for you to leave a job. You know what I mean? If you're a truck driver like me, because I know a lot of people, they come into trucking for the wrong reason. They come into trucking for the money, but it's not something they always wanted to do. So I can use this as a good example. If you come into trucking for the money, for the wrong reason, you had no passion of being a truck driver, and then you got into this field, and then you start working as a truck driver, maybe it's time for you to get out of this field if you're not happy. There's nothing wrong with moving on. If you're a teacher and you're not happy with what you're doing, it's time for you to move on, because it's going to reflect on your students. We need productive kids in this world. You know what I mean? If you're a policeman and you're not happy with this job, please move on, because it's going to reflect in what you do. And it goes on and on and on. Maybe it's time for you to leave your job. There's nothing wrong with moving on from a job. You know what I mean? So much people have this stigma of, well, I can't leave this job because my resume is not going to look right. Man, I know you're supposed to have like average, like, you're not supposed to change what is it, over 5 jobs in 10 years? But sometimes you gotta say, screw a resume, man. You're gonna sacrifice your happiness for a piece of resume, paper, whatever? No, you can't sacrifice your happiness. You notice I keep tying happiness with this job thing, because life is all about happiness, man. Like, you gotta ask yourself, a lot of people fronting, they're not really happy. You know what I mean? I go driving down the street with my and this is a true story. I go driving down the street first of the month, I'm in my Honda Accord. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a happy mood. When you look over to the left and you look over to the right, you see these people in BMWs and Mercedes. They looking all sad. Cause guess what? It's time for them to fork up that $1,000 a month for car payment. I don't gotta do that. A lot of people live to their highest, live like check to check. You know what I mean? So they're not happy. A lot of people are not happy with their job. You're stuck. If you're in that position that you truly don't like your job, but you got mortgage to pay, you got bills, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time for you to set up a plan. Start knocking out them bills one by one. You start attacking those bills, and when you attack them bills, get them paid. You know what I'm saying? I know if you got a big car payment, you can't just turn your car back in because it's going to affect your credit, but do the best you could to pay it down. You know what I'm saying? And after that, take a look at your situation, take a look at your numbers, where you need to be every month. You should move on from your job if you're stressed. Yo, happiness is the key. So I think that's the number one reason that you should leave your job. Simple, because if you're not happy, then you should move on. You know what I mean? So remember, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what y'all think.